You asked for longer videos. Hope you'll watch the whole thing. Peace, what's good? This is Queen Sarita coming at you with another documenting my life journey. I'm sharing my journey of awakening spiritually with all of you, and I'm watching and receiving a lot of feedback as you all are doing the same thing in your own way and me and mine. However, today is a special documenting my life journey because this one is about a special prayer that I spoke of before, and I didn't say too much about it because I wanted to make sure I had the exact title right. You see, when I first wrote this prayer, I wrote it for myself. I wrote it because I was going through some things. I was experiencing some things, perceiving things in my life as being against me for one thing. And really nothing is against us. If you're a divine being and if there's the one, you are, who you are, being a divine being. I'm who I am. We're just expressions and manifestations of the one. However, our life has context. It does have a story. It has, layers and dimensions if we wanted to, if we give life to these things. As we speak, as we think, as we envision, life comes together and we're creating our reality. This is how I've been looking at life. I've been studying, I've been seeing repetition, like so many patterns of things happening within the matrix. And I really felt helpless. And I wanted to claim my power and get my power back. And I wanted to remove impediments that were seemingly standing in my way. And I got tired of wasting a lot of energy and time on things that weren't really serving my purpose and propelling me forward. So I stopped doing certain things and I started doing other things that I felt would bring me the success that I wanted. And this prayer is a huge part of that. So here it is. So September 9th, 2019, that's how long I've been using this blockbuster healing prayer. This is important because this blockbuster healing, cleansing prayer. Now, the reason why I came with this is because in the past, people have come to me who felt like they've been crossed with, negative magic, negative juju, bad juju, things like that. And I'm experienced in clearing these things. I'm experienced with working with people who are dealing with, so-called hauntings and things like that. And it's something that there's a process in clearing your energy, your environment, your way, your path in life. There's a way to do it. And sometimes, you run across spiritual people like me who talk about all these lofty ideas and stuff. They sound lofty as hell, right? And then you get out into the field and it's like, is this stuff really working? And how do I apply this stuff in real life? So that's when I had to come with something else. And there were different layers to the work that I do when I'm doing either spiritual work for somebody. If I'm working with them doing tarot readings, we're getting insight into how to solve a problem or a challenge, or, how to remake something, how to redo something, how to repackage a thing, how to rebirth something, when to let something go. And there's so many different aspects to that. But one thing that I was doing is I had done uncrossings with people, road openings, block busting, trans-surfing, meditation, journal writing, self-hypnosis, self-talk, inner smile. I'm telling you, I do this stuff. There's certain things that I do on a regular basis, but I know other people who have their own processes also. But you find something once you are doing your work in the world that works for you, and you can test it, and then you can share those things with other people. If you are wanting to be a teacher or something like that, you can do that. So that's what this blockbusting healing cleansing prayer is about. It's something that came about when I wanted to find a way where there was no way, when I wanted to be hopeful, when I wanted to see the fruits of my labor even more, even though it seemed like I was blocking it. I felt like I was self-sabotaging a lot of the things that I wanted. And then I started watching and observing, and I got into a space of non-judgment more, self-love more, projecting more of what I wanted to see come back to me also, but without even thinking about it, you know? So all kind of reminders. This prayer is a reminder. It's something that I channeled through Soba. It is something that I'm going to tell you to say it more than one time a day, you know? And you don't have to memorize it, but it's something to help with your vibration. It helps to raise the vibration. Many things get out of the way if we just lighten up and raise up and start, just being solidified in old patterns and old beliefs and things that don't serve us anymore, and leave things in the past and let things go, release things. So that's what this is about. This prayer is no better than something else you may already be using. However, what I've gotten from this is it helps to convince yourself more of the reality that you're wanting. It helps to free up your path of obstructions, and it's also putting out into the universe what you really want instead of what you don't want more of. This one's specifically on health, and the reason why that is, this one came through Soba. Soba really sent this message to me. My spirit guides did, and they were like, you got to share this. It's for mental, emotional, spiritual health, and inner well-being. My caveat, my disclaimer is I'm not a doctor. I'm not trying to be a doctor. I'm a health practitioner, a holistic health practitioner, and a yoga instructor, and a, meditation teacher, and all these other things, and a, ordained minister and all that. And soon I'll be something else. I'll tell you all about that in the future. But I just wanted something to help me to remember that there's more. I don't have to be subject to anyone's energy in a positive or a negative way if I don't want to. And I get to set the precedence of my own energy. Now, this blockbusting prayer is of moderate length. It's not very long because you can say it more than one time a day. If you say it 3 times a day, you'd be looking at or listening to it 3 times a day. That's about 21 something minutes, But the thing is to remind yourself of what you want to see in different areas of your life. I have my life coaching, guidance separated by several categories, and I'll tell you that number in another podcast. However, each one of the areas of life, there's certain things that I can do to get the benefit of that. So that's what I do. I'm getting messages that tell me, hey, if you want amazing health, which is what I was going for with this one, these are the things that you need to do right here. And I wrote it down. I channeled the prayer, played music with it, really was in a deep state of trance and enjoy. But I was using this healing, cleansing prayer to open the way in my health because I was experiencing minimal issues with digestion that I had had for a longer amount of time than I wanted. And I wanted to take the reins in the area of my gut, of how I was feeling all day in the morning, how I was moving in my day and using my energy. And this did help. So here you go. You can say this healing prayer with a third person way of saying it, or you can say it with first person. So you can say, I am, or you can say, some people feel, more like they prefer saying, she is, or Queen Sarita is, or Sarita is doing blah, blah, blah. This is, she's my character, she's my person, but she's not who I am. Okay, so I do third party stuff too. Third person stuff, third party. But anyway, y'all, so with the cleansing prayers, repeat it 3 times in a row right then and there if you have the time. Let it play, listen to it. You don't have to repeat it if you don't want, but you can just listen to it. Also, you can do that 3 times a day if you want to. What works for you? And before you say this prayer, there's something that I like to say at the beginning. I dig saying at the beginning. It's a affirmation opening statement from Mr. Masters, who tells you to set the precedence with saying, hey, this is how I want this to be taken by my spirit, by my subconscious, by the universe. You're doing that all at one time with this statement on the beginning of it. And I'm drinking some water. And when you say this healing prayer, one of the most important things is to receive. You know, how many people do you know don't really tell the universe they're ready to receive? They don't really make it known to themselves they're really ready to receive. So it's about that. And when you get started with this healing prayer, it can be a part of a process of other things you're doing also. You know, I burn Palo Santo. I, have Himalayan lights. I, had a shrine. You have your plants. You're pouring libation. You're, what else? Burning incense. Whatever it is for you that's helps to enhance your spiritual practice. The only thing that's really needed is the breath and just awareness, really just being in the now. But we dig our props. So you may have your journals, you may have certain pens and pencils you use, but the secret is to remember who you are, and that our true nature is peace and joy. And this healing prayer is a way to get into the feeling of who you are. Listen to the words that are in it. They're all sweet. They're all supportive. They're all loving. They're all an embodiment of well-being, inner peace, outer peace and joy, in mind, body, and spirit, well-being, bliss, hotep, hetep. Namaste. All right, y'all. Keep it simple. Keep it deliberate. And this healing prayer is another way of doing that. It's a way to open up the way. It's a way to let the universe know, your spirit know, that you're ready for more. You've been doing all this work for years, but now you're ready for more, and it's time. It's about time. So at the beginning of this healing prayer, you're going to hear me say some words. You say those, and then bam, the rest of it, just let it go. You can listen to it morning, noon, or night. I used to do this healing prayer. Honestly, let me tell y'all, I just remember I would do it right before going to bed. And I would also do it, I'd do it right when I was in the state of feeling sleepy. Because I know that we have different waves and states of consciousness. Different ones are more receptive, more open to planting things in the subconscious, in the soil. If you get the right state, you don't have to work so hard. You get to prepave, you get to get the energy ready. And that's what this healing prayer is about too. It's a way of setting up the energy so you don't have to work so hard. It's a way of, planting more seeds in your own soil. So the best time to plant seeds in your subconscious would be right before going to bed. Like I said, when you're feeling sleepy, you sit with no noise, you breathe. You definitely want to have some headphones on, stereo headphones, something like that. I use the iPhone ones, keep it simple, whatever. And then go to sleep with that on. It'll play while you go to sleep, this healing prayer. And I don't care what is in the way. I'm going to tell you to use it and listen to it and see what it can do with and for you. And then the other time is listening to this healing prayer right when you wake up in the morning, right when you're in that state where you're still feeling sleepy and you're moving very slowly, right up in there. Before you even, you're going to go to the restroom and all that, but just keep your eyes kind of, keep them comfortable, keep them soft, keep your body soft so you can still be in a state of receptivity. This is the time when you can help change deep-seated beliefs and habits that have been sitting within you that are blocking your own path. There's so many people that keep on saying affirmations, but they don't get any results. There's so many reasons why that can be the case. A lot of times it's you aren't getting into the feeling of it, and the feeling is the secret, it's said. The secret is to feel the oneness, to be in a state of peace and joy. Ra'u Nefer Amen spoke of peace and joy long time ago, all the way back in the 70s and then some, but that's what he was talking about. Being in the now, you know? And then there's other teachers, Eckhart Tolle talks about the power of now. There's other people that talk about the power of your subconscious mind. When you do this healing prayer, remember that your garden is already growing within you. It may seem like obstructions are getting in the way. People are bringing challenges your way. Life may be bringing challenges, it may seem. But out of that, you can still be growing a garden. People grow gardens every day, even though there's all kinds of threats to the garden's growth. But they do it anyway, and they keep going, and they persist, and they get a way that works. So the same way, this is what I'm doing. So keep dropping the seeds until you believe it and until you see it, and then let it flow and receive it, okay? I want you to release and receive. That's what Spirit was telling me. Release and receive, Sarita. So this message is a precursor for Soba's meditations that are coming out, for a stream of several things that are really already in the works, and they've been in the works for years. It may seem like things are against you. It may seem like people are trying to compete against you and defeat you. I don't care. You don't need to care. But put all the workings into convincing yourself in the most peaceful way, and nothing can be against you anyway, right? That's what Spirit told me. So I'm going to let you all go. The healing prayer at the beginning, we're going to say each day the following words, affirmations, will enter my mind repeatedly for my ultimate growth, joy, and benefit. I receive. Okay? And thank you. And you can just say that. It's going to be said before the beginning of this amazing health, blockbuster healing cleansing prayer. And when I say healing, I'm talking about well-being. So maybe I'll take the word healing off there and put well-being, so that way somebody won't get me wrong and think that I'm telling you that I'm going to have you jump up and literally have a miracle happen. Anything can happen. We are miracles, okay? And that's all I'm going to say. But I want you to use this in the best way that works for you. And if it resonates with you, then I'm telling you, prayer works. And it works even without somebody believing in a Jesus. Even with somebody who believes in a white or a black or blue, or that the person never existed. I don't give a flip, because everything that's here is a part of the one. And to me, there's no, it's always that way. And my reality is going to show me what I believe. So whatever it is that you do believe, just make sure that it supports your highest good. Okay? Empower yourself. Seek to empower yourself. Don't give all your empowerment away to somebody else in hopes that they'll do the work for us or you, because that's what we've been taught a lot of times to do, and it just isn't seeming to work out. Icons and, deities and angels and all that stuff is wonderful. The tools, the teams, the spirit guides, the amazing connections that we have access to. But everything is just an extension of the one. It's just ether, and we can dress it in whatever type of clothing we want to. We can create whatever type of storyline we want. So don't worry about the weeds. Continue to drop all the things that you want into your soil, that you want to see come, even if you don't believe it can happen, even in the most dire situations. And I'm always here if you all need to connect, get a reading. If you need a special, if there's a meditation you're looking for, I have several meditations, several offerings, several classes. And I look forward to sharing all of these things with you all. I do have to make a living, which is what I'm doing. And by the grace of the divine, I do receive. And I definitely see myself growing just like naturally high life is, and success and prosperity and just goodness, y'all. So I definitely wish the best for you. I send you prayers and abundance. This prayer is going to be something that is going to be offered. But because you all are still here, I told you that Soba had more. There's so much more. I've just been holding it back to see when the right time was, but now it's all being let go. So thank you for asking about this healing prayer. You know who you are, who dropped a message the other night. It just had me smiling because I was sitting down about to go ahead and record this message, but there was a lot of different. There's been there were some interruptions during that time, so I was like, let me hold back, and I'm gonna come with it when it's the right time. So I've got a couple of recordings of this for you that I'm gonna add to this. It'll make it a little bit long, but the healing prayer, when you're working with it, you can sit. I used to be in my bed. I would sit in the bed, have my headphones on. Yes, other people are going to want to talk to you. Yes, other people are going to want to play and, have fun in the morning, or they may want to eat and all that. But me, I do intermittent fasting, so I typically don't eat early anyway. You want to do this healing prayer a lot of times when your stomach's not packed with food, you're doing, because you may take this into meditation. You can, and just hold it. Just dwell in the words of it, and just feel good, because that's a part of the healing. It's feeling good. The body is going to just fall back into harmony when you organize your mind and your thoughts, it's said. So organize your mind, you organize your environment, then your body is going to automatically get in line. The other thing you're doing with this is you're doing self-talk. Huge, huge, huge on the journey to healing and awakening. And why is healing important? People used to be jealous there's people that are jealous of other people because they're into health and stuff, but you don't freaking realize vitality is necessary on the spiritual journey. To expand requires energy. And that is where the health stuff comes in. Because if you can't go the distance, then you're not going to get it done. You're not going to be open enough to get the insights. You're not going to be able to stretch that mind in order to create new pathways and new ways of being. So vitality is important for just that. There's many people that want to get deep, but they can't get too deep because they've got other areas crowded and clogged in their life, and they've got to get unclogged. You got to open up. These are areas I'm able to help with, okay? So y'all knew I do so many things like this, and I test them out on myself, and then other people go and do their thing. Nothing I'm doing is better than what you're doing, but I know how to find what works for me, and I'm very good with helping other people find what works for them and help them to open up to that. Okay, I'm not here to teach you nothing that you don't know, but we're growing together. With that being said, don't tell everybody what you're doing. That's the other element of all of this. People share too much of their personal business on their spiritual journey with people who may not even know what you're talking about. They say that none of us sees life exactly the same way, right? So if you have your own complete perception, there's going to be some people that add on to that, but nobody's going to agree completely with every single thing that you or I have to say, or even your self-improvement practices, or how you're seeing yourself or seeing life. So it's important for you to develop your own views and master thyself. With that being said, I'll be back, and there will be some more of these prayers. The meditations, that's next. I already have it coming for y'all. So look for that. It'll be up right after the prayer, okay? The other thing is, there's people out here too who think they have to compete and try to do what somebody else is doing, stop it. You'll waste too many years of your life doing that, because you really don't know what people are doing unless they literally pull out their whole playbook and show it to you and sit down and, like take you on a complete ride with all the details. You have no idea. So it's best to create your own. Be inspired, yeah. Create your own, though. And stop looking for other people to approve of what you're doing. Spirit has told me it's not important. Someone told me before too, a lot of people are clueless about where you are. If they're not on the vibration you're on, if they're not going towards the things you're on or doing what you're doing, and they don't want the things out of life you want, they have no freaking clue. They may be able to hold an articulate conversation. They may be bright as day. Beautiful. But it doesn't mean that they are going where you're going. It doesn't mean that they have the same journey that you have. And at this point, I'm channeling a message. But remember, everything that you're doing, like, it takes energy on this planet to do things. So learn to use your energy for the things that are going to reap the benefits of what you want. It may not be physically seen with the eye at first. Don't give up. Everything starts from the unseen, and then it comes to the seen. Okay, so that's how it is on this planet. It seems opposite. It seems backwards for some people, but it is what it is. So that means many things that it may seem like aren't there, they are. They're just coming into the light. They're coming to sight. Okay? So your benefit, like I said, for this healing prayer: mental, emotional, spiritual health, and inner well-being. This is about a specific life area which I find to be extremely important. We will be getting into journaling about this very, very nicely, just in a playful way. I think I've been trying to do it too perfectly, so we're just going to keep it real simple. But the healing prayer is a blockbuster. It is one thing that I would say has helped when I was doing much magic. It's helped so much with even meditation. It's helped me with trusting, knowing, opening the way, knowing and remembering that the divine one who holds all of this together, divine God, creator of all that is, whoever that is, whatever that is, this yin and yang energy, that's this masculine and feminine energy. Okay? This is the source of my supply. That's what this is about, remembering that, and that we can change our beliefs. We can change what we believe. And there's levels to changing it on. Like, you may change it consciously. You may be saying, I want this, but something may be playing out with something else. So this is just another tool to help in opening the way, because I know how tough it can be. I do. No judgment, but let's work this together. Let's come out of this. Let's keep becoming. Let's keep becoming better. Keep loving yourself. All right, and I will talk to you soon. And peace.